Welcome. This video is about SQL constraints and how to enforce rules in database design. Let's dive in. SQL constraints are rules enforced on data columns and tables. They're here to maintain data integrity, accuracy, and reliability in a database. They prevent invalid data entry, ensure data consistency, maintain relationships between tables, and define database schema structure. In short, constraints are essential for a well-organized and trustworthy database. SQL constraints come in several flavors, each designed to enforce a specific type of rule. We have primary key, which uniquely identifies each record in a table. Foreign key, which links tables together and enforces referential integrity. Unique, which ensures all values in a column are different. Not null, ensures a column cannot have a null value. Check, ensures values in a column satisfy a specific condition. Default, sets a default value when no value is specified. The primary key constraint uniquely identifies each record in a database table. It must contain unique values and cannot contain null values. Each table can have only one primary key. A primary key can be a single column or multiple columns, which is known as a composite key. A primary key automatically creates a clustered index on the column. Here's how you can define a primary key when creating a table. Using the create table statement, you specify the column, and then add the primary key constraint. Alternatively, you can use a table-level constraint definition. A foreign key constraint is used to link two tables together and enforce referential integrity by preventing actions that would destroy relationships. It links to a primary key in another table. It prevents invalid data from being inserted, and it can cascade updates and deletes. Here is an example. We first create a parent table called departments with a primary key, department ID. Then we create a child table called employees. In this table, the department ID column is a foreign key that references the department ID column in the departments table. A unique constraint ensures that all values in a column are different. This provides uniqueness for the column or columns and helps identify each row uniquely. It is similar to primary key but can accept null values. A table can have multiple unique constraints. It is commonly used for email addresses and user names. Here's how you can implement a unique constraint. At the column level, you simply add the unique keyword after the data type. At the table level, you define the constraint with a name and specify which column or columns should be unique. A not null constraint enforces a column to not accept null values, which ensures that a column must always contain a value. It forces a column to always have a value, improves data quality and reliability, and can be used with the default constraint for required fields. Here's how to use it. When creating a table, you simply add the not null keyword after the data type of the column. To add a not null constraint to an existing column, you use the alter table statement. A check constraint ensures that values in a column satisfy a specific condition. This helps maintain data validity based on specific business rules. It allows for custom validation rules, can use logical operators like and, or, and so on, and is common for age limits, price ranges, and date validations. The code shows you how to implement column-level check constraints directly within the column definition. Also, it shows how to define a table-level check constraint with a specific name. A default constraint provides a default value for a column when no value is specified during insert operations. It automatically fills in a value if none is provided. Default values can be literal values, expressions, or functions. They are often used with timestamps and status fields. The code demonstrates using default with datetime functions, setting a default status, and adding a default constraint to an existing column using the alter table statement. Here are some best practices for working with SQL constraints. Name your constraints using meaningful names for easier troubleshooting and more informative error messages. Use foreign keys wisely and consider on delete and on update actions like cascade, set null, and restrict, based on your application's requirements. Balance database versus application validation. Use constraints for data integrity but handle complex business rules in application code. Document your constraints and their purposes to maintain database integrity over time. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.